Welcome to the DSPN.
He's given him. Well, there you go. He was forward.
Oh, a punch up now in midfield. Fraser's involved.
The Devlin Sports Podcast Network.
Welcome to the podcast, people. Martin, Devlin, Lachlan Waugh, DSPN. Wherever you are listening to us or watching us, thank you very much for your support. We so do appreciate it. Be it on Rover, watching on Spotify video, Apple Podcasts, the DSPN YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Keep clicking that subscribe button on the DSPN YouTube channel. We're well over 11,000 subscribers now. I want to get to 15,000 as soon as possible. This means we can keep providing all this content to you for free. Keep leaving us comments as well. We love all the engagement. We're all over social media, various clips as well. Today, about 3 or 4 different ways that you can get ready with us. A couple of sleeps away for the Rugby Championship. Greg Martin will be on, as he always is before the weekend. Nigel Yeldon with his expert analysis of the naming of the All Blacks 15/23 today. Some post-match press conference as well. And a big montage of who's going to win the Rugby Championship and why. We've got the straight 8. Tony Johnson, Jamie Wall, Brett McKay, Harry Jones, Brendan Nell, Frankie Dagus, Marto and Nigel, all answering that question. Again, leave us a comment. Thank you so much for that. People, get ready. Here we go. It's on us.
We live in an amazing, amazing world, and it's wasted on the crappiest generation of just spoiled idiots.
Start your engines. It's the Rugby Championship. What do we expect from opening round? I think the 2 favourites are going to win, South Africa and New Zealand. There you go. What a big, bold prediction that was, huh? Not. Here's the thing, though. Rugby, especially Test rugby, just doesn't tend to throw up that many big upsets. And for either of us, the Springboks or the All Blacks, to lose, that's what the results would have to be. Huge upsets. The SAF is more than us. Argentina and Cordoba is a banana skin game for the All Blacks, no doubt about that. It's what we call a tricky fixture. Not easy, never easy, and not a match we can ever take lightly. But we are a better team. We should win. We've had good preparation. Just about all of our players are healthy. There's only 2 of them not available, and only one of those, Wallace Satiti, I think would be considered a sure shot to start anyway. So this lineup is as good as it gets for Coach Razor right now in terms of choice. Is the 15/23 the best team we could select? There's always going to be debate over certain positions, and everyone has their own opinion on it all. But for me, apart from the 8-7 combination, I'm not so sure. It's about where we are at this point in time, who we have in the squad, what experience they individually have, what is the assignment, what combinations are best suited to the opposition. All of that considered, I do think it's hard to argue against the team chosen. As I said, I'm not so sure. I maybe would have kept Artie at 7. We should win this game. But then again, for 51 years now, I've always thought the All Blacks should win every time we play. I've always thought that we will win. The one major exception to that was the World Cup quarter-final versus Ireland in Paris 2 years ago, where we were lucky enough to be there covering it, myself and Lachlan. And I remember up in the stands before the games, sitting there chatting away, thinking, I really don't think we're good enough to beat this lot. They were coming in off, 18 or 19 in a row, number 1 team in the world, and it was a weird feeling sitting there waiting for the game to start, thinking, we're going in as underdogs here. It doesn't happen often. Ask me again in the days leading up to the Box in a few weeks at Eden Park. I'm not so sure that we can pretend we're favourites versus them right now either. They will beat the Wallabies, I have no doubt about that. They're in that same space we were a decade ago, where we just had an aura around us like we were like the Muhammad Ali of heavyweight rugby, the greatest, almost perfect in every position. If you named a World 15 in 2015, there would have been 10 All Blacks at least starting, without question. The Springboks don't have as many standout individuals as that team did, but as a team, they are its equal. We have to accept that. That's the status that back-to-back World Cup wins bestow upon you. No, they're not unbeatable, but in certain circumstances, like at home at Ellis Park, only a team that turns up that given day and plays like the best team in the world is going to beat them. Because as I said at the start, rugby is a game where the best side, the most battle-hardened test-ready side, more often than not, wins the biggest games. Australia, if every player ends up having the game of their lives, might just win. But that's as good as they're going to have to be. Lose the physical battle, they'll get blown away. Give up a handy lead like the second test, they'll be punished. The second test versus the Lions, of course, I mean. And we all know that the Springboks at Ellis Park aren't going to be as flat as the Lions were in that third test. So to both the Wallabies and Los Pumas, yes, it's possible, but no, it's not probable. I give Aussie a 25% chance, the Argies 30-35%. There's a reason both us and the Boks are favourites, because we should win. We are better. Any other results would be considered genuine upsets.
Devlin.
Time, Lachlan, to play your favourite game on a Friday.
What has more chance of happening?
I present some scenarios to you, situations, games. And we're going to decide in the end what is more chance of happening. When that guy yells, we go on to the next one. Let's start a nice, easy one for you. Test match rugby this weekend. What is more chance of happening? Argentina beat the All Blacks or Australia go to the High Veld Butti and win at Alice Park?
So Argentina win at home or the Wallabies win on the road. Mm-hmm. The Wallabies are playing the best team in the world. Argentina are playing a team that can be the best in the world, but we're yet to see it. Well, there's an obvious answer here.
Yeah.
Argentina beat the All Blacks.
That's right. See, by
the way,
easy one to start
who
with.
on earth would have said that 5, 6, 7 years ago?
Well, no, but I don't think that either Argentina or Australia will win this weekend. I think that it is just going to be...
But the fact that we're saying there's more chance that Argentina beat the All Blacks than the Wallabies beat the Springboks.
Well, when's the last time the Wallabies beat the Springboks?
Well, think about your 40 or 50 years as a rugby fan. When has that ever been the case, that there's more chance Argentina beats New Zealand?
Well,
then Australia beating South Africa.
There's only been a couple of periods in the whole time that I've watched Test match rugby where Australia were better than South Africa. Only a couple of times for maybe about 3 or 4 years at a time.
Well, for the first part of my rugby fandom, for at least the first 3 or 4
you've
years,
got to
Australia were more often better than South Africa.
Remember that the
were.
Yarps only came back in 1992. So for that period when Australia were dominant, okay, we'll say they were dominant then. They were dominant through 99 and that period where they won the World Cup. Since then, the odd occasion, but most of the time South Africa have been a better team. Let's go to the NRL and stick it tonight. What is more chance of happening? St George beat the Warriors at home, and that's pretty much, that is a death knell if that does happen. St George beat the Warriors.
Stuff of dreams, isn't it?
Or the Roosters beat the Dogs this weekend. What is more chance of happening? Now, Roosters coming off a big 60-pointer. Remember, Dogs coming off that win against the Warriors.
Dogs had a really good win over the Warriors, which I think sort of reset things. The Dogs were not stumbling, but there were a few kind of performances, I thought. But that sort of brought them back on track, it felt. But I've been talking the Roosters up all year. I really have, and I really like the potential of this team. But they're still very young. I would like all
of those people that gave it to me, and some of you were quite abusive about me saying at the start of the year that I thought the Roosters were going to be a reasonable...
you implied that they were a contender up there with Melbourne and Penrith. Yeah, that's what you said.
But I mean, I was a bit lofty in that, but they're still a team that might make the 8.
Well, they certainly could. They got the quality. I think there is... I'm really nervous about if I can take off my anti-Warriors hat for a second and be as impartial as I possibly can, even though it hurts to do it. I'm actually really nervous about the Warriors. I think there's a simple method to all of this for them. Go back to your basics, make it simple, do your job, make your tackles, look after the ball.
Win the game.
Win the game. The Dragons are certainly a beatable team. We've already beaten them once this year.
No question about it. That was a really tight game, though, to be fair.
Yeah, but isolate this one game. Ignore what's happened to you recently. Ignore the fact the Dragons have had a couple of good wins as well in the last month or so. You can beat this team.
At home, Mount Smart, Friday night. Yeah.
But the Roosters have a great chance to get the Dogs, so I don't know. I'm not sure.
What is more chance of happening? St George beat the Warriors tonight, or the Dolphins beat your sliding Broncos? And this is a Dolphins team that was at the wrong end of that scoreline against the Roosters, right? And a Broncos... very sad for your lot that you lost 3 guys in the space of a couple of minutes, and they're all key playmaking players.
One of them wasn't someone I think we were hanging our hat on to lead us to the finals, being Selwyn Copper, who was good, but he's been a bit unreliable this year.
You love that guy.
However, no, I don't. I don't love Selwyn.
Tony Staggs.
I love Staggs.
Right,
I tell you what, Dally M Centre of the Year. Staggs is in the mix. I love that guy, Tony Staggs, but I think he cares about the jersey. He cares about the logo. He's one of the few Broncos players that I think actually knows that he's not bigger than the club. Anyway, we don't have Mam or Reynolds. I think that Ben Hunt's at 7. I think Billy Walters is with him in the halves, which I actually don't mind that disappearing at all. 2 hard workers, grunters. There's more chance, I think. I don't think we're losing to the Dolphins. There's more chance the Dragons beat the Warriors. But I don't know.
Warriors and Dolphins. It's my choice.
Well, because you hate the Broncos.
Premier League. Here we go. It does kick off this weekend. What is more chance happening? Man United, Monday morning, beat Arsenal at home.
Certainly likely.
Wolves beat Man City.
Man United win. Is it at Old Trafford?
Yeah.
Not that
you
lost so many games there.
We lost just about every game there last year.
You're actually worse at home than you are on the road, which is unbelievable. In saying that, I'm still, jury's out for me on Arsenal. I don't think they've shown
They've got a striker now.
Well, this striker, by the way, he had a great season in Portugal. Liverpool bought a striker who had a great season in Portugal as well, and his name was Darwin Núñez. What happened to him?
What a flop he was.
But this guy, Victor Gyökeres, while he's scored a great goal to be fair in pre-season for Arsenal, and he certainly can score, but the last time he was in the Premier League or in England, he was with Brighton. I don't think he did much there, and then he did well with Coventry, but they weren't in the top division. I think if I've got all that right. So Jury's out for me.
Look, the other thing about Arsenal was that over the last couple of seasons, I think they scored 90-something goals a year or two ago and 80-something last year or something.
They certainly aren't short of goals.
I'm sorry. I mean,
and last year when they didn't have a centre forward, they still scored the third most goals in the league.
So it's kind of like,
everyone was injured.
Is this the answer, is it?
Well, I just think that that narrative, I don't think it's quite true.
Okay, well, who wins out at Man United?
Anyway, I think there's more chance United beat, because I think Wolves could get relegated, so there's more chance that I think United beat Arsenal than Wolves beat City.
What is more chance of happening then? Man United beat Arsenal on Monday, which would be a hell of a surprise, or Bournemouth beat
Man
Liverpool?
United beat Arsenal. I knew you were going to say that. More chance Man United beat Arsenal. I don't think Liverpool. I've been very nervous to get too excited about this season, but when you look at the signing, and particularly now that there's a couple of centre backs arriving, I think Liverpool are going to go on an absolute tear this season. I don't know if we're winning it, but I think we're going to maintain an 80-point sort of standard.
United fans, they're going to win it again. They're going to 21. They're surpassing us. 2 to go. Let's go NPC. What is more chance happening? Bay of Plenty beat Canterbury, or Auckland beat Taranaki?
Who are the homes? Auckland are at home under there.
Bay of Plenty, Canterbury, Taranaki, all 2-0 at the moment. But that Auckland side, if you got something to do this weekend, you got a couple of hours spare, watch this team play. They're really exciting. They played 2 games. They played Waikato and they lost in the last second. They were really unlucky against Canterbury. But their outside backs, those young blokes out, they are worth watching.
Well, there's no fear. They throw it around.
Yeah.
They're great to watch.
Batesy, you're doing a great job, mate. Playing great rugby. You just got to get some wins.
Auckland, Taranaki, or Bay of Plenty, Canterbury. I think it's more chance Auckland win, actually. Maybe that's more hopeful than anything, because I want to see them win a game because they're playing such a great brand of rugby. But I'd lean towards Auckland. They're at the Fortress Eden Park. Geez, that place is going to be humming. Oh, no, that's right. It's an NPC game.
Yeah, sadly. Enjoy your sporting weekend, people.
This is the DSPN.